Hello, everyone. I'm Barbara Nickel from the League of Women Voters of the Mount Baldy area, and I'm here with Rachel, who's going to share some propositions with us. Rachel, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rachel Forster. I'm the Board of Directors of the League of Women Voters, Mount Baldy area. I will be taking you through Propositions 6, 32, and 33.
Thank you. I'm just going to say a quick couple of words about the League. I know if you watched another of these videos, you will have heard this, but I want everybody to know that the League of Women Voters spends a lot of time and energy and volunteer hours to protect and expand voting rights because we defend democracy by empowering voters through advocacy, education, and litigation at all levels of government. And I invite you to visit our website at the League of Women Voters Mount Baldy area. So now, before Rachel starts, I'm just going to share my screen. So this will just take a moment. And then I'm going to start the slideshow. And Rachel, you're on.
Thank you, Barbara. Proposition 6. It will eliminate the California constitutional provision allowing for involuntary servitude for incarcerated persons. Should the California Constitution be amended to prohibit involuntary servitude as punishment for a crime, prohibit punishment for refusing work assignments, and allow voluntary work assignments to reduce sentences? This would be a constitutional amendment in the state of California. The situation: the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution banned involuntary servitude except as punishment for a crime. In California, some people in state prisons and county jails can be required to work or attend classes. Many of these workers are paid less than $1 an hour. People who refuse work or do other activities can face consequences, such as losing the ability to make regular phone calls. In 2022, Alabama, Oregon, Tennessee, and Vermont voted to ban involuntary servitudes as a form of punishment within their state constitutions. The state of Louisiana put that to the voters and rejected that same constitutional amendment. This will prohibit forced labor as a punishment for a crime, prohibit punishment for refusing work, and allows giving people time credits for working. The fiscal effects are uncertain. Prop 6 has the potential to save money or increase costs depending on how the people in jails and prisons structure their new work programs and rules around prison labor. The supporters say that involuntary servitude is an extension of slavery. It prioritizes rehabilitation by allowing incarcerated people to choose jobs and shifts that allow them to continue their education, get counseling, and participate in rehabilitation programs. In California, African Americans make up 6% of the state population, but make up a full 28% of the prison population. There is no argument for an opposition for Prop 6. The funders of this initiative are the California State Legislature, the Dolores Huerta Foundation, and Law Enforcement Action Partnership, and they have funded it in the amount of $730,000. There is no oppositional campaign. Now, Prop 32. Prop 32 raises the minimum wage. The question is, should California raise the statewide minimum wage from $18 to $18 in 2026, and then every year based on inflation? Here's the situation. California's statewide minimum wage is currently $16 an hour. Certain cities and industries do have higher minimum wage. In 2016, California increased its minimum wage to $15 an hour, with an annual adjustment based on inflation. That's what has left us at the current $16 an hour. California is the third highest minimum wage in the United States and the third highest cost of living in the country as well. According to the MIT Living Wage Calculator, a single adult with no dependents needs to earn $27.32 an hour in order to make basic needs. The California Legislative Analyst's Office predicts that Prop 6 will result in higher wages for workers, slight price increases of less than 0.5%, lower business profits, and an uncertain impact on jobs, which could slightly increase or decrease. Some California workers, such as fast food and healthcare workers, already have higher minimum wages. Many California cities have their own minimum wage that's above the state limit. Supporters say Prop 32 would improve living standards for millions of workers. It'll promote economic fairness. Corporate profits have more than doubled since 2002, but worker pay has not kept pace. Women predominate minimum income wage jobs. Prop 32 will help close the wage gap. will help close the wage gap between the genders. Opponents say Prop 32 will hurt businesses and raise the cost of living and may lead to job losses. It will disproportionately hurt small businesses, and it may lead to tax increases to cover the increased cost of labor by cities and county governments. The financial supporters include Joseph N. Sandberg, a venture capitalist. He is the major donor to this campaign, as well as Unite Here Local, Kevin De Leon, and other donors. The total financial supporters are $11,500,000. The opposition comes from the Claremont California Restaurant Association, the California Chamber of Commerce, and the California Grocers Association in the amount of $65,000. Proposition 33 would expand local control to enact rent control on residential property. Should California repeal the Costa-Hawkins Rental Housing Act of 1995 so local governments can regulate rents? The situation. A severe shortage of housing in California is driving high rents. The Costa-Hawkins Rental Housing Act of 1995 severely limits state and local agencies' ability to help rents. Prop 33 is the third attempt to repeal Costa-Hawkins. Attempts in 2018 and 2020 failed to pass. During the 1970s and 80s, housing construction slowed in the state, causing rents to rise. Many cities, in response, passed rent control laws to protect tenants. Opposition to these laws, led by landlords, led to the passage of Costa-Hawkins, which says cities may not pass rent control for any single-family home and all housing built after 1995. It may also not restrict what a landlord can charge a new renter. This is referred to as vacancy control. Proposition 33 does not create rent control. It allows local control over rental policies. Prop 33's focus on the needs of renters and the state will temporarily stabilize the rental market and help renters keep their homes. Some research suggests that Prop 33 could have the following consequences: may increase rents on properties not covered by rent control, could disincentivize construction on new rental housing, causing higher rents. It's worth noting that slower housing production began before rent stabilization laws came on and were being passed, and limiting rent control has not led to an increase of housing production. Now we get to the supporters and the opposition arguments. I would like to point out again that the arguments I'm about to say come directly from the campaigns and may or may not reflect actual truth. And I would suggest that you look a little further into the facts on this particular initiative, as well as the others. The supporters of 33 say that more than half of California renters pay more than 30% of their income on housing, making them considered rent burdened. Rents have increased faster than wages and inflation, making cities unaffordable. Rent control is as much a needed fix for many. I'm going to start that again. Rent control is a needed but temporary fix until more affordable housing enters the market, the long-term solution to build affordable housing. Renters of single-family homes deserve the same stability and protections of those that rent apartments. And Prop 33 returns control to local governments, allowing cities to do what is best for their residents. The opponents say Prop 33 would reduce construction of new rental properties, making the problem worse. It distracts from the problem and the necessity for affordable housing. It would hit seniors, veterans, and disabled people the hardest, as they would lose any protections as renters and be in danger of eviction if they can't pay rent. This is funded by the controversial AIDS Healthcare Foundation. Financial support. Financial supporters of Prop 33, the top supporter is the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, followed by Unite Here, Local 11, and California Alliance for Retired Americans. They have spent $37 million on this provision. Financial opposition was led by the California Association of Realtors, the California Apartment Association, and the California Chamber of Commerce. The financial opposition has raised a total of $87 million. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel. I just want to end by saying that if you need more information or want more information, consider going to vote411.org, where there is plenty of information about your area.